This video compares two incredible 200-meter performances: Gabby Thomas's dominant win in Kingston and Elaine Thompson-Herah's record-breaking run in Birmingham. We break down speed, technique, and what separates a rising star from a legend.
Favour Ofili of Nigeria, their national record holder, the 19-year-old, will start in lane number 6. Natalia White of Jamaica will start in 5, 8th in the 100-metre final here, 4th at the Jamaican National Championships this year over this distance. Christina Mboma from Namibia, the 19-year-old national record holder, has had her injury problems this year, but she's back, she's in this final and starts in 4. Beth Dobbin of Scotland. The line-up in lane number 3, a semi-finalist in the Olympics last year, the Scottish record holder, 22.5 at her best. And completing the lineup from the Gambia, Dina Bass, just outside 23 seconds in qualifying. She starts in lane number 2. So the final track action on this Saturday night: Bass, Dobbin and Mboma, White. Ofili, Thompson-Herah, there she is, Connolly and McDonald. She won the 100 metres in 10.95 seconds. That was her first individual Commonwealth Games medal. The athlete that's done the double-double, the 100 and 200 metres at 2 Olympics in a row, is aiming to win the 200-metre title here. Still shouts from fans around the crowd. But a clean start. Thompson-Herah has got out nicely in lane number 7. She's took the stagger from Connolly outside of her. She's eating it up, the Jamaican. Thompson-Herah into the home straight. Ofili, the Nigerian, in second in the lane inside of her. And Mboma's going to get the bronze. Keep your eye on the clock. 22.02 seconds. I thought it was under threat, and she's taken the game's record off Shawnee Miller-Weibo. A plus 0.6 metre wind. It was brilliant from Elaine Thompson-Herah, and now she's the double Commonwealth champion. She got exactly what she wanted here in Birmingham. Ofili picks up the silver and Mboma the bronze. Both games' records have gone in the 200 metres, Steph, evening on the track.
Well, something about running at night here, it's just been magical. And do you know what? It wasn't that dramatic in the end. It pretty much went to script. Elaine made her presence known on the bend, and the race really was, in the end, for the silver and the bronze. And I'm just so pleased for her. You know, perhaps she didn't have the championship. Perhaps she didn't have the championships that she wanted in Eugene, but she has come back. And she has finished her season on her terms. You can see her third from the left in the screen. And you can, just in those first 20 meters, her stall was set out. The moment she was gone around that bend, no one was going to catch her. But the interesting battle was happening at the back as Christine Mboma we didn't really know what she was going to do. As you say, she was coming back from injury. Her very first 200, really, that we'd seen her in was in the heats. But Favour Ofili managed to hold her off for that silver medal.
It was a huge win in the end. Such is the class of Elaine Thompson-Herah. And it means a lot for an athlete that has everything. Her house just sparkles of pure gold back in Jamaica. And as we said at the start of tonight's broadcast, Jamaican Independence Day today, and they've had a storming session here again in Birmingham. It was never in doubt, as you say, Steph. She went round the bend. She held her form wonderfully well. At her best, 21.53, but 22.02 tonight, and the gold medal.
Last weekend in the Dominican Republic, she ran the quickest 400 in the world yet this year. Yes, it's early, but she's in good form. Then we've got Nikisha Price, the first Jamaican ever to run under 49 seconds. And again, a pretty decent 200-meter runner, but this is not her main event. Same for Alexis Holmes. Her top 9 times out of her top 10 were all set in 2024. So an improving athlete. 25-year-old, as I said, come over after the World Indoor Championships in China. Well, Paulino, who moved to the 400, I guess probably in around about 2020, and has dominated that event, certainly last year. Talitha Diggs in lane 2. And then Stacey Ann Williams of Jamaica. Fresh from a new indoor 400 personal best. Lane 1 maybe tough in this 200 then. Hansen, what we're looking for here?
Well, Paulino needs to at least come out of here with at least 5 points, because obviously to win, you get a little boost with the 12 points to win the deuce. Gabby and Dina are really going to be battling for that, and I think that they know that they're going to have a good chance at that 100K if they jump out in front with the points in this early race. Spoke to Dina like yesterday, and Dina actually said that she's really focused on that 4. Very confident about her too. So that 400 is going to be something special when she gets out there.
Dina Asher-Smith in lane 8. Gabby Thomas, Olympic champion, in 7. Safely away first time. Asher-Smith got out pretty good. Naser just got left a little bit. You'd expect that by the 2 sprinters on the outside. But it's Gabby Thomas around the top end who's just got half a metre on Dina Asher-Smith. And Thomas normally starts to go away from this point. Naser running well in 3rd at the moment. And then there's a battle with Paulino charging down the last 30-40. But it's going to be Gabby Thomas. Asher-Smith might just hang on here. It's Gabby Thomas, but Paulino with a real surge, taking 2nd place. And that will be really, really significant. We expected Gabby Thomas to come away with a win, 22.62 in these conditions. That's pretty swift, that's pretty good. But Paulino, that is significant. You get 12 points for winning, you get 8 points for 2nd. But when we cast this forward to the 400 tomorrow and the possible result there, let's say the possible result, that is significant for Paulino.
Nah, it's absolutely significant, because she's obviously going to do her thing in the 4. For her to come 2nd, I didn't expect that, man. Gabby getting 1st place obviously makes sense. She's the Olympic champion, but for Paulino to come out of there with those extra points, she's going to end up having a good chance at that 100K.
Dina always runs a pretty good turn, transition at the home straight here. Gabby Thomas just moved away, just got that gap, and it looked as though Dina was rallying again here.
You know what? Gabby ran a much better turn than I expected. She's tall. You don't expect the taller sprinters to have such a good turn, but she's efficient. And once she gets on the straightaway and lets those limbs go, I mean, she's really, really hard to beat. I expected it to be a lot tighter with her, Dina. That wasn't the case, but Paulino coming 2nd in that race, I think, is the big story.
Well, and so much hype has been on Gabby Thomas since the Olympics, and then since she announced early on that she was going to be running this series of Grand Slams. So look at that huge smile. She must feel really good breaking the tape.
You know what?
Check the result there, 22.62, as I mentioned, 22.93. It's the season's best because she hasn't raced yet for Paulino.
The women's 200 meters continues to evolve as one of the most competitive and tactically rich events in track and field. And 2 standout performances, Gabby Thomas at the Grand Slam Track Series in Kingston and Elaine Thompson-Herah at the 2022 Commonwealth Games, offer a compelling comparison between modern dominance and established greatness. Though separated by context and timing, both races highlight what it takes to control a 200-meter final at the highest level. In Kingston, Gabby Thomas delivered a statement performance that immediately positioned her as a leading force for the season. Running from lane 7, she executed the race with remarkable authority, attacking the curve with controlled aggression before transitioning seamlessly into the home straight. Her winning time of 22.62 seconds was not just a victory, it was a message. Against a stacked field that included Dina Asher-Smith and Salwa Naser, Thomas showed a level of composure and efficiency that set her apart early in the year. What made Thomas's performance particularly impressive was the caliber and diversity of her competition. Asher-Smith, a former world champion, brought proven 200-meter credentials, while Naser's presence as a 400-meter specialist added a unique dynamic to the race. However, it was Marilady Paulino who emerged as the biggest challenger, showcasing her versatility by finishing 2nd in 22.93 seconds. Despite this pressure, Thomas never appeared threatened. Her ability to maintain form under competitive stress reflects a maturing athlete entering her prime. In contrast, Elaine Thompson-Herah's performance at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham represents the peak of sustained excellence. Her winning time of 22.02 seconds not only secured gold, but also set a new Games record, underlining her status as one of the greatest sprinters in history. Like Thomas, she ran from lane 7, but what distinguished Thompson-Herah was the sheer dominance she displayed from start to finish. Her race execution was nearly flawless. She exploded out of the blocks, quickly neutralized the stagger on athletes outside her lane, and entered the straight with a commanding lead. Competitors such as Favor Ofili and Christine Mboma fought intensely for the remaining medals, but the battle for gold was effectively over before the final 50 meters. Thompson-Herah's performance combined power, rhythm, and experience, qualities refined over years at the very top of the sport. When comparing these two races, the contrast lies in both timing and legacy. Gabby Thomas is asserting her dominance in the present, building momentum and establishing herself as a central figure in the new era of sprinting. Her Kingston performance suggests an athlete who is not only physically prepared, but also tactically aware, capable of handling varied competition styles. Elaine Thompson-Herah, on the other hand, represents a benchmark, a standard of excellence that continues to define the event. Her Birmingham run was not just about winning, it was about reaffirming her place in history after a challenging season. The ability to respond to setbacks with record-breaking performances is what separates great athletes from legendary ones. Technically, both athletes share key strengths: explosive starts, efficient curve running, and strong finishing phases. However, Thompson-Herah's edge lies in her proven ability to sustain peak performance across multiple championships, while Thomas is still in the process of building that long-term consistency. Ultimately, these performances reflect a generational transition within the women's 200 meters. Established icons like Thompson-Herah have set extraordinarily high standards, while emerging leaders like Thomas are beginning to challenge and redefine them. As the season progresses, the potential for direct clashes between these two forces adds even more intrigue to an already electrifying event. In the end, the comparison is not just about times or titles, it's about evolution. The 200 meters is no longer dominated by a single narrative, but shaped by multiple athletes pushing each other toward new limits.